Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Embrace Your Life Chat, where the intention is to help heighten celebrations and lessen sorrows through a positive focus. I'm Carol C.C. Miller, your positive life strategist, peace activator, and global hugger. I'm excited to be here, so let me know in comments where you're joining me from. I am actually on the Panhandle on the Gulf Coast. I'm through the month of January working from here, so it's nice to be in a little warmer weather than Chicago, which I love and is my home. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know again where you're joining me from. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you here. And before we get started on today's topic, I do like to cover a couple of things to make sure, especially if you're new to my work. And one is I'm not an absolutist. I'm not a big fan of the words always, never, right, wrong, good, or bad. There are 8 billion people on this planet. I can't begin to say what is right for 8 billion people or wrong for 8 billion people. So I personally work on a scale of 0 being always negative, 100 being always positive. I don't know anybody at the 0, and I don't know anybody at the 100. I do know people who are closer to both of those. My personal work is to be in the 80 to 100% of the time positive, loving, kind, compassionate, and peaceful. Those are my top values that I work with. So what does that mean? Fear visits me, frustration, anger, disappointment, unworthiness, all of the normal feelings that we go through visit me. But because I've made it a daily practice to focus on feeling better, I am in the 80 to 100% of the time that. Not always, but I am the majority of the time. So that's number one. 2, I am a coach, mentor, love supporting people in living their best life, whatever that looks like. I am not a licensed counselor, nor am I a therapist. And sometimes in order to live your best life, getting that type of support is essential to going there. So I just believe that you are worth living your best life. So whether it's hiring me as a coach, working with your best friends, or seeking counseling and therapy, I encourage you to create that support system around you to live your best life. And today's topic is 3 things. And these are all 3 things that I talk about probably every time, if not the majority of time. And it's important to be aware of them. And it's important to be aware of your thoughts. It's important to be aware of your words. It's important to be aware of your actions. I'm guessing you have a dream that you're wanting to live and create in your life. Maybe it's a new place to live. Maybe it's a new job, a relationship. Who knows what it could be? Maybe it's just to feel a little bit better than you did the day before. Maybe it's moving through grief in the most gentle way that you can. Are your thoughts, words, and actions aligned towards moving towards what you want, or are they keeping you in the space of what you don't want? And when the don't want is right in front of you, it's really easy to focus on the don't want because it's like want, trying to grab your attention. But when you're aware of how you feel, then you get to choose your thoughts. You help choose your words, and then you choose your actions through that. Hello, it's a dreary, rainy day here in Cleveland, turning to snow tonight. Well, you just keep that weather in Cleveland, please. It's actually where I'm at, it's going to get it's 70 today. It's going to get in the 50s tomorrow and over the weekend, I understand, but still sunny. So I'm very grateful for that. But I like to define what we're talking about as well. So the definition of thought, an idea or opinion produced by thinking or occurring suddenly in the mind. Word, now that was a more convoluted definition to come up with what we're talking about here, but a single distinct meaningful element of speech or writing used with others to form a sentence. An action, the fact or process of doing something typically to achieve or an aim. So what are we thinking about? What words are we choosing? And what are we acting upon? I'm a big believer in affirmation. So I choose an affirmation when we're here as well. And an affirmation is simply a statement. It's not positive or negative. It can be positive and it can be negative. I work with positive affirmations, but when you are saying, I'm not good enough, I am whatever, and you're putting a negative word behind it, that is still you're affirming what you don't want. When you choose to affirm what you are good at, what you want in your life, what you're excited about, then you are choosing to affirm what you do want. So today's affirmation is, I choose thoughts, words, and actions that support the life I want to live. Again, I choose thoughts, words, and actions to support the life I want to live. Now, perhaps today you're giving more of your attention to what you don't want, and guess what? That happens. So if that's the case, and you say that statement, and you immediately think to yourself, no, I don't, that's not true, then that positive statement is not positive for you. So I would either encourage you to go into, I'm in the process of choosing thoughts, words, and actions that support the life I want to live, or change it up completely. But if you say something positive, like the majority of us would say that's a positive statement, but for you, it's not, because you've immediately said no, then it's not positive for you, and it's not going to be supportive of what you're trying to achieve and grow into in your life. So you want your affirmation to be believable. It can be an absolute stretch from where you are today, but you want to believe that it can happen, to allow it to start working. And it's to replace the negative thoughts that do fill our head. We have thousands and thousands of thoughts all the time. And they say research shows that the majority of us focus on the negative more than the positive. And that was kind of just innately to survive. You need to be prepared to protect yourself. So it really does take some practice in order to start changing and shifting into seeing the possibilities rather than the problems, focusing on the solutions rather than the problems, and seeing things working out for you rather than not working out for you. It's a practice. You can practice as much as you want, or you don't have to do any of this. It's totally up to you. But the tips that I'm going to give you is, first one, which is what I use a lot here, is awareness. When you are aware of your feelings, when you are aware of your thoughts, when you are aware of your words and your actions, then you are in the driver's seat and you can choose differently. Maybe right now, I'm in a good place right now, but let's just say right now I'm angry. I get to choose, because I'm aware that I'm angry. I get to choose, like, nope, I need to feel this way for a bit, and that's okay. But it's about how long of a time and how much attention do I want to give that anger. Anger does not feel good to me, so I don't want to stay in that energy for long. But I also don't want to negate it and pretend it's not there, because usually when we stuff things, it just comes back later. So my awareness allows me to choose to feel a little bit better. Often for me, again, I've been practicing this for years and years. Often when I'm aware of it, it shifts like that for me, because I've been practicing for so long. But sometimes I'm now aware that I'm angry. That doesn't feel good, but I'm still a little frustrated. So then there'd be tools on focus on the gratitude within that. When I'm talking to different coaching clients, and ultimately if we're talking about somebody in their life that is frustrating to them, I ask them immediately for 3 things that they appreciate about that person. And I would say 90% of the time, maybe even 95% of the time, they can pretty quickly come up with 3 things that they appreciate about them. On the times where they can't, because they're so heated in that moment, then what you can do is say, this person, this experience is awful. I can't think of 3 things I like about that person or experience. But the majority of the people in my life, the majority of experiences that I'm going through right now are easier. They are smoother. They are more gentle. So I can go into appreciation for that rather than maybe the appreciation for that person or experience. It takes practice. When you're aware of it is what allows you to make that shift from there. So be aware of how you feel. Does it feel good? If right now you need to be frustrated, that feels good to you, stay there. It's not a right or a wrong. Our frustrations, our fears, our disappointments are not here to harm you. Actually, they're just kind of tools, a barometer on how you feel and how do you want to feel. So it gives you a place to start from and then a springboard from there. Right now, this person has really upset me and I need to stay here for a little bit, or this person's really upset me and I want to move on and think about all the people in my life that do bring smiles to my face, that do bring joy. So it's really about awareness. What are you thinking about the majority of the time? And again, research shows us that the majority of the time we have negative thoughts, and it's a self-protective mechanism. It's not right or wrong. It just tends to be where we are. But when we're aware of the fact that we're focused on, man, today's cold and dreary and nasty and blah, 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 then we can shift from there. When we're aware that we're talking about the fact that it's cold and dreary, but that's just part of life, then we can move forward from there. I'm a big believer in what I focus on, I give attention to grow. Does that mean I don't ever focus on things that I don't want to grow? Absolutely not. I certainly focus on things that I don't want to increase and get more powerful in my life. And then I become aware of it and I take the steps to shift it back into focusing on what I do want rather than focusing on what I don't want. Awareness puts you in the driver's seat. Awareness allows you to make the decision, make choices. Choices might not be easy. Doesn't mean because you're aware of it, it makes it like, oh, that's an easy choice. But it does allow you to make that choice. When we're in autopilot, life is living us. We are not living our life. So that's what I encourage you to do. Use gratitude as much as possible. It's certainly a big tool for me. Another big tool that I talk about often is I ask myself daily, sometimes more than once in the day, who do I want to be and how do I want to show up? I want to show up as somebody who is positive, who is happy, who is helpful and caring and compassionate and kind. I don't want to show up as somebody who is angry and upset and disappointed. Those things visit me, but that's not who I want to be. So even asking myself that question allows me to refocus on the want in my life rather than the don't want. And I cannot stress it enough. When the don't want is right in front of you, please be gentle with yourself. It takes a lot more work to focus on the want when you're going through a really big challenge in your life. It's possible, but it takes a little bit more effort to do so. So gentleness, gratitude, awareness. Those are my tips for you today. I hope I say this name right. Hello, Kavita. Welcome to our chat here. Kathy, remind me, I don't remember where you're from. If you can remind me, that'd be great. But if you have any questions about today's topic or something else you would like me to discuss in the future, something to bring a little bit more ways to heighten our celebrations and lessen our sorrows through a positive focus, that would be fantastic. I will come back later in the day because I don't always see the comments live. So I'll come back later in the day and check it out as well. Ohio, I thought it was Ohio, but I was not sure. From Maryland. Nice, Kavita. I don't know that I've ever been to Maryland. I think that I'm going to need to add that to my list of travels. Hello, Anna. Good to see you again. But I do want to do a couple of updates. And one is hopefully on Monday, that's my plan. I'm not making a promise, but my plan is to offer a new program that I'm creating that's going to help support you to focus on the thoughts and the words and the actions on living whatever it is that you're wanting to create, whether it's creating the new job, whether it's creating new relationships, whether it's just feeling better about yourself. It's whatever is going to help support you to show up as your best self every day. So I hope to be able to announce that on Monday. It's going to be a fun program, a very inexpensive program, and I hope that you consider joining me in it. Again, plan is to offer it on Monday, starting in February will be when the program actually starts, but I'm hoping to kick it off on Monday. And, Kavita, you were attacked verbally. Okay, let me talk about the hi, Elise. Let me get to that here in just 1 second, Kavita. And that's a pretty big topic, so it might be something that I cover in more in depth later, but let me share that too. But before I talk about that, Global Free Hugs is coming up in 113 days. Kavita, you probably don't know because I think you're new here, but I have been doing free hugs since 2008. Started doing global free hugs, asking people to join me around the world from wherever they are to go to a public place in their location, hold a free hug sign, and offer free hugs to their community, just to love up this beautiful and messy world, one hug at a time. I should know these numbers offhand, and I don't, but I've had huggers on 6 continents. I believe, I don't know how many states and countries. A lot. And Desmond Tutu joined twice, but it is 113 days. I will put the link in comments here. And it's a link actually to, this will be where you'll also be able to find my Magic Makers program that's coming up this coming week, and any other types of access points that you need to me will be on that link as well. But right now I have 2 countries signed up. Somebody in Canada, Cindy, is joining us in Canada. And then we have, what do we have? We have 4 states. I'll be hugging in Illinois and Chicago. Darlene is in Peoria, Arizona. Carrie, North Carolina, Gail, and I did not write, I think it's Jefferson City, Tennessee, is where Paula is hugging. I would have to look. That's on my website too, carolccmiller.com. There's about hugs. So on that LinkedIn tree, you can go in there and sign up. You can offer public hugs. You could also choose that weekend, May 5th through 7th. You can just hug family and friends and send pictures. Again, the whole intention is to spread a little bit more love and kindness through a hug and to love up this big and beautiful and messy world. Kavita, back to you. Ooh, I am so sorry you were verbally attacked. I think sometimes it's harder to deal with emotional abuse than it is physical abuse. The physical scars tend to heal over time, and the emotional scars take a little bit more work to do so. So I don't know how deep this attack was to you. I don't know how long it was, so I can't really give you a whole lot of support, but I would encourage you to remember, I'm not an absolutist. I'm going to say the majority of the time when people are spewing at you, it is their own inner hurt that they're spewing out at other people. I'm a big believer when people feel seen and heard and know they matter in this world, they are less likely to harm themselves and others. So unfortunately, you were the punching bag to this person's hurt, whatever is going on. So that's one thing, is to remember that. I don't know in this situation if you felt physically unsafe too. Certainly always feel physically safe before you speak to anyone. So I don't know if there was even the opportunity for you to speak up to them. But in your head, this is a hard one, especially if they were being really mean, is to find compassion for them. Does not 1 second mean what they said to you is okay. But a lot of times, if we know their backstory, we can find some compassion. Again, verbally attacking, physically attacking, not okay. But if you know the backstory, you might be able to find a little compassion for them. And I want you to find a heap load of compassion for yourself, remembering that's not who you are. We can't control how other people view us, which is hard. It's very easy to take other people's opinions very personally, especially if it's coming as an attack. But I just encourage you to be gentle with yourself, kind to yourself, and compassionate to yourself, and remind yourself of your worthiness, and to try to send love to the other person energetically. You don't need to say anything to them. Maybe you don't ever have to see them again. There's so many other things, but I do encourage you to realize that it's hard to have somebody say those things to you. I'm not at all agreeing with that person. I do believe the majority of times, maybe not always, but the majority, again, I'm not going to say always, it's an internal deep hurt within them. Because if you feel comfortable and confident and loving in who you are, guess what? You don't need to hurt other people because you're comfortable. I just put 2 words together. You're confident in yourself. You're comfortable within your own skin. There is no need to harm another person. So I hope that helps. I will think about a way to address that in a different topic. I'm not sure without a little bit more information on how to handle that. But I do encourage you to give yourself a big hug and fill yourself up. Do something for yourself that will remind you that you are worthy of being here, that you are worthy just because of who you are. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to be anything else. Just being here makes you worthy of taking up space in this world. Own your space. Be kind and gentle to yourself. And if you can, especially if this is a new situation, so you're still in the energy of that attack, if you can, find a way in your heart to have some compassion for that person. You might not be able to yet, and guess what? That is okay too. So I hope that 2 days ago, Kavita, I am so sorry. Ugh, people, be nice to each other. I hope that helps, Kavita, and I hope you come back and join me. I'm here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central Time. So I don't see any other questions. And again, Kavita, let me know if that helped at all. And just be gentle and kind to yourself, because that other person should not have said that to you. And I don't want you to own what they said to you. This is something that I heard many, many, many years ago. And I promise you, Kavita, it is still hard, but I do believe it to be true. And this was from Tony Robbins, uh, like probably 15, 20 years ago. And Tony Robbins is like 6'7". He is a huge man. And his comment was, I can stand in front of you and call you every dirty name in the book, and it's your choice to own it. So again, when you're comfortable and confident with yourself, when somebody says that to you and is verbally attacking you, it's very easy to take it personally. Promise you, I would too. And then I would use my tools to feel better. So know that that's on them. Do what you can to observe their behavior rather than absorb their behavior, and take care of yourself and be gentle with yourself. So I just feel scared. Oh, is it somebody that you see a lot, or was that like hopefully a stranger incident that you don't have to deal with? And where do you live, Kavita? Let me know that too. But I'm sending you so much love, and keep doing what you can to honor yourself, to support yourself, to take care of yourself, and to be gentle with yourself. And utmost is to be safe. So if saying words to others is not a safe experience for you, I want you to make sure that you're safe. So that is what I have for you today. I wish all of you a day of gentleness. I wish you a day that your thoughts, your words, and your actions are supporting you in living the life you want to, and that you're gentle with yourself when your thoughts, words, and actions are focused more on what you don't want, because it's going to happen. And through awareness, that's when you are allowed to change what you're thinking. I will be back Tuesday. So maybe Tuesday will be my announcement day. No, you know what? Maybe I'll come on Monday and talk about this program a little bit as well. But I will definitely be here Tuesday, noon, Thursday as well at noon. So go out there and take care of yourself. You are so welcome, Kathy, and thank you for being here. The system I use has kind of changed things, so I don't know that it even shows up on the social sites as easily as it used to. But you know what? The people who are supposed to be here are. So that's all that matters. She got suspended until further notice, so I'm glad about that. Oh, excellent. So it sounds like it's a working situation. Well, hopefully your HR is taking care of it. And keep me posted. Just send me a PM. Because of my schedule is being super busy, I don't check the Facebook PMs as quickly, but if you go onto that LinkedIn tree, you will see how to email me personally. So I would love for you to keep me posted. I definitely want you to feel safe. So that is what I have for you today. I hope wherever you are, you're able to find a little bit more joy than you had the day before. And I want you to take care of yourselves. And remember, you matter. You matter to me. You matter to the world. And most important, you matter to you. So go to that LinkedIn tree, sign up for global free hugs, and check out other ways. I don't have my program on there yet, but it should be there by Monday. I'm telling you that to hold myself responsible for getting it done. So there's a few things that I haven't finished with it yet, but I certainly will try. So go out there, have a wonderful day, be safe, be kind, be gentle. I'll talk to you soon. So long for now.